happen. I don't know if they're going to do this this time around, but it feels like pretty much every single set, or at least for the past kind of 2 to 3 sets, they leave it open for one game and they try some sort of composition to counter it. And then they kind of shift it back. They did it with the Urgot, they did it with the Caitlyn. King are going to be like, nope, not this time around. We're banning it from blue side.
Yeah, immediately taking away the Kalista and the Sivir. You can see Aaron, he's not even talking with his team. That's how well coordinated he is. They actually have mental telepathy, and they can communicate via their thoughts.
That's impressive.
It really is. There's going to be the Annie and Ryze taken away. Everyone prepared and set. You think they worked out their bans before this, considering how fast they're going through?
Maybe.
If they were sitting in the lobby saying, I'll ban this, okay, I'll ban that.
No team would ever do that.
Give away the strategy, mind game it completely.
Important is that Sivir was banned from purple side. Deft and Name have found a ton of success on this champion, and again, we saw kind of Name's last 4 games spammed with that Sivir, so I really like that ban.
There goes the first pick for Hui. It's going to be Rek'Sai, Bamey's Azir, and Cassiopeia, and even Victor still open. We'll see if he decides to go for it, as it is a very strong pick. Hecarim still on the map as well. We've seen Insect take it before, but considering his desire to take some more unique picks, that could be something that he decides to go for. And there's Gragas.
That is the first time I've ever seen Clearlove smile.
Oh, yeah?
He's like, I'm going to cask Name. I'm going to beat him.
He's getting ready.
So Bamey taking his Azir. Bamey plays pretty much Shurima champions.
Shurima.
And Victor. Yep.
Oh, yeah, Cassiopeia's from Shurima now.
Yep.
Well, kind of.
Well, she was cursed.
Noxus.
In Shurima.
Semi-cursed.
Betrayed by Sivir. That's why they banned her.
No, she betrayed Sivir.
Oh.
And then she ended up becoming a half snake. Why is the snake the betrayer? Oh my gosh, it's an Adam and Eve reference. Boom!
On the other side, though, it looks like Name is going to take the Corki away from
Yes.
Deft.
I can't believe it took me that long to get. But yes, there's the Corki locked in, and the Victor secured for Korn in the mid lane. Yeah.
So far, I mean, this is pretty standard. Kind of curious that they decided to rotate the 80 carry so early, but it makes sense. Sivir's banned, Kalista's banned, so kind of go down the line to what Deft's going to play. His Jinx is still available. He hasn't really been pulling it out since it was defeated, so see what direction he's going to go, and they're actually going to give him the last pick.
Yeah, they're going to hold on to that for good old Deft, as it looks like Amazing J is going to be taking that. Hecarim Nautilus still open for Mako. His very strong Annie is an option here if he can try catching Korn with a flash stun, but instead he's going to go for the slightly more secure...
More lane dominance.
Yeah, with the depth charge, and as you mentioned, of course, the lane dominance as well.
Yeah, that's really what Nautilus is going to bring. I mean, Annie is still very dominant in lane, but there's just no way you can beat Nautilus. He's got too much wave control, hard engage, damage. It's just absurd.
Currently looking at Zac Name.
Please play Zac top.
God, I hope so. Zac top is so hard.
That's one of his like all-time most played champions is Zac.
It is so hard, but he's a jungler. Well, was a jungler.
He played top lane for KT as well, when Kakao was his jungler.
Oh, you're right. Did he still continue to play top lane Zac?
And then Kakao chased him to China and forced him back into the top lane. This is why Insect's actually playing top. He couldn't handle it.
Yeah, so it's going to be the Vladimir locked in now for Insect. While it looks like Zero's taking the slightly safer Morgana, I think Name actually baited the Twitch by hovering it briefly when he was scrolling through the quote-unquote random champions, but Deft, he sees that, decides to look for something a little bit safer. Whoa. Whoa. Okay.
A lot of LPL AD carries really like the Ezreal Corki matchup just because, I mean, I guess it's kind of a skill matchup. Typically, if you hit your skill shots, Ezreal's always going to be a skill matchup. But just the idea that you can dodge the Phosphorus Bomb not only with your E and then get an extra trade auto attack, but also the Mystic Shot. So not surprising to see Deft look that direction, but it's very much a siege poke-based composition. They could have gone for the Hyper Carry and the Jinx, but I think Deft just really wanted the comfortable 2v2 matchup.
Yeah. Just playing it safe, and they already know that there's the Morgana for spell shields, which is going to make diving a little bit more difficult, and there was EDG smiling as they looked at their team composition. Something to be proud of, as their team comps, their drafting phase in general, has been spectacular.
In their second games, I actually think that EDG, because again, they're one of their only 2-0s or their losses this year has been to the last place team in WE, and I frankly point at a lot of drafting mistakes. If you think about when they got crushed by LGD in the first game by leaving open Ryze, Kalista, and Alistar. So, I mean, LGD, it's been hit or miss. Again, you're not punished for experimentation in this league because you just need to split to maintain your position on top of the standing. So that's what I'm going to give it to. I'm going to say it's experimentation.
Well, we'll see if this experiment manages to work as King and EDG. You just saw the rosters slowly scroll through. King very strong with this one. They've got some great zone control. They've got some excellent pick with the Morgana bindings. And, of course, they've got Name on Corki, the great AD carry himself. But he's going back up against his old rival, his old teammate, Deft.
Well, his old team in general on EDG, so this is definitely a interesting good match. Again, Clearlove said it himself. King and EDG, they tend to scrim a lot more because they're still on good relations with Name. So let's see if that maybe reflects in kind of these two teams' play style.
Yeah, we'll have to see as we load into the Rift for game number 1 between EDG and King. And we have loaded onto the Rift. It's King and EDG. Set number 2, game number 1 of week number 3 of
week number 6
day
of day number 3.
There's the one. One of these days, I'm going to be able to do it so fast that people literally will not be able to understand me, and it will sound like I'm speaking a foreign language.
Literally. It's really important to note that, yes, we are halfway through the season, so EDG and King have already played this split.
Yep.
But when they played, they didn't have Insec or Zero, and I believe they didn't... Did they not have their Koreans? I don't even think they had Name either. I think they were playing with a different AD carry. So this is the first time this split on this roster that EDG and King have met.
Should be a little bit of an exciting match as EDG sticking a little bit defensive here, opting for the lane swap right now. There's a ward on the top side of the map that should spot them if they decide to walk into the brush, while it looks like King are consolidating their defenses around that Insec Vladimir.
That is going to be a 2v2 in the top side, and again, when the bot lanes meet on the top side of the map, the only thing that really changes is how either team approaches dragon control.
Yes. Should be pretty exciting. I mean, you've got Amazing J rocking the smite along with Clearlove, so they do have that double smite potential. Here come the minions as they roll on down mid lane, and it's going to be double jungle out of both of the solo laners.
The thing that I want to really point out to as far as King's composition, though, is how much magic damage is pretty much across every single member. I mean, other than Rek'Sai, you've got Vladimir, Corki's going to be doing mixed damage, Victor, as well as Morgana. Just so much magic damage in these compositions in LPL these days.
Something tells me a Locket of the Iron Solari is going to be pretty high priority for EDG.
Which is curious because Mako traditionally itemizes Mobies into the Sightstone, and then he looks for kind of his first completed tank item, typically a Locket.
Jamie finds some harass onto Korn right there as he makes it out of range of that Sand Soldier, while Deft trying to clear the wave as fast as he can with Mako, but Zero seems to be a little bit more effective at this.
And this is something that Corki and Morgana will have over Ezreal, is their minion wave control, just because you have the Tormented Soil as well as the Phosphorus Bomb, which has the AoE properties to quickly gain control of the creeps and get a push going.
That's what we see right now. Deft trying to clear away that minion with his Mystic Shot, but he's just having the toughest time getting close. It's so scary to get close to a Morgana, and now the waves are finally going to even out once again.
Well, the reason why Name and Zero aren't really taking control and pushing forward, although their wave is slightly now starting to take ahead, is they don't really know which side the enemy jungler started on, so being careful that they don't overextend themselves for a possible flank.
Yeah, I mean, they've got Clearlove on that side of the map. He's clearing away the Scuttle Crab right now. Not sure if he's going to run into Hui at the blue buff. But no, he decides to back away, gets out of there just barely sooner, and Hui gets caught out by that Scuttle. They see him there. Baimy's actually still playing to that side, so he might be trying to bait here.
But he goes ahead and he steps forward and he wards inside, knowing that since the Scuttle Crab was taken, that Clearlove will be on that side of the map. So doing a good job providing protection for Name and Zero.
Korn taking some harass down on the bottom while Insec abuses that Vladimir power. He hasn't hit that strong mid-game spike just yet, but you can already tell that sustain is going to be a little bit of trouble for Amazing J as he went for a full sustain build himself with that flask and health potions. And all in all, things are relatively slow and calm from this.
Also very important to point out that Vladimir is a resourceless champion because he doesn't have mana to worry about, so whereas Amazing J is having to itemize into the flask and the pot to continue to sit in his lane and clear waves, Insec was able to pick up some initial resistances as well as 4 pots.
Yeah. So with that, he is feeling very comfortable as he continues shoving it under the turret. Clear Love's on that side of the map as well. Amazing J was just trying to recall right there. He might have had to have burned his teleport, but decided to cancel it and stay in lane while Bamey shoves Korn under the turret. He's already burned through both of those health potions with that amazing Azir harass. Korn seems like he's having a bit of trouble.
That said, Huey is lining up for a gank here, which is why you see the immediate back ping on Bamey. So he's playing to the top side of the map. Obviously, that's where he is. Oh, excuse me. I was going to say the lane swap. Never mind. Irrelevant point.
Instead, it's going to Pink Ward, dropped by Hui, just to keep an eye on that lane. Make sure you don't get any roaming Azir. Possibly look for Clear Love as he goes for a few deep wards of his own with the earlier recall. And the harass continues to be dished out on that top side of the map as Name and Zero just continue to deal those auto attacks back and forth. Oh, here's Hui again. Let's see if he will be able to find Bamey as he just dashed forward, dashes away, gets knocked up, but no follow-up means he's going to be able to get out.
Great damage, though, which will force the back.
Deft goes low. The binding is dodged. Deft narrowly makes it out of this one, while Mako is going to try chasing them away. There's the teleport from Amazing J. Instantly, Zero flashes, and the teleport is canceled.
Yeah, a lot of respect for that teleport. Don't know if they needed to burn the heal and the flash. That said, they didn't have any eyes on Amazing J, so I guess possibly afraid that he could have home guard at this point or tier 2 boots. Pretty impossible at 6 minutes in, but he did have boots. So
he does.
A lot of respect. Clear Love now on the top side.
Yeah, he's just showing himself to try scaring him away. We looking for a bit of a counter gank here. Deft.
He wants to help them clean up their CS and push this in so Deft can make a safe back and start itemizing. He really needs to get his tier. He's actually slightly late on it. So that's why Clear Love's up there. Not to, like you said, not to apply pressure, just to help him clear out the wave and make his back safely.
Just to be a bit of a presence. Now Korn with that recall. He is picking up some sustain along with the upgraded Hex Core. Bamey opting for the Fiendish Codex first to look for continued harass and some CDR to make it more effective. Well, Amazing J just gets level 6 on the bottom side of the map. Now, Insect does have his teleport available right now. He did not use that on the top side to try going for a counterplay to EDG, but doesn't look like he's going to make too much use of it as there's a recall now out of Amazing J, possibly timed with Deft.
Yeah, Deft is also backing. We'll see if they decide to lane swap. But meanwhile, in the mid lane.
Oh, dive onto Korn. Snare lands. He's going to be taking a lot of damage here. Bamey dashes forward, knocks Hui onto the other side. He's forced to flash the wall, makes it over the Emperor's Divide. Here's the teleport from Vlad. First blood onto Bamey. An immediate flash transfusion finds Bamey. He goes down to Insect.
What a beautiful Azir sec right there for Bamey to pick up the kill, but good response. Insec, again, like you said, there was a TP discrepancy. He was able to get involved with that play, and especially as he's on the bottom side of the map. We'll see if the teleport difference, like the fact that Insec is on the bottom side versus Amazing J being on the top side, and how King will approach this dragon now, if they're just going to give it to EDG since Deft and Mako have now made it back to bot.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to keep an eye on who ends up getting that first dragon as Amazing J. Whoop! Takes a binding to the face. He has completed his Merc Tread, so should be able to take a little bit more damage from both Name and Zero, but Deft catches the wave on the bottom side of the map and is going to continue farming it up as best he can. Amazing J really wasn't having that grand a time against Insect. He wasn't shut down, but having it continually shoved did present a bit of a problem, and it looks like King are going to respond. There's a recall coming out of both Name and Zero, and we see Insect heading up to the top side of the map, so it doesn't appear that they want to continue going for the 2v1.
I mean, the thing about Hecarim is he's not really there to fight the enemy laner. He's just there to farm and quickly itemize, so again, making use of his devastating charge and just his general mobility and speed around the map. He likes to make quick little buys as opposed to saving up, staying in lanes for elongated time frames and coming back with massive item purchases.
So now that it seems like we've got a little bit of time, let's talk about what these team comps actually do aside from hooking and catching people.
Well, you have a lot of AoE magic damage again, so Vladimir's really going to empower Victor's Chaos Storm by allowing multiple or extra damage to be applied during the duration of the transfusion, which will then work really well with the Venn diagram that Name is also going to apply on that. On the other side, though, like you said, it's really about poke, siege, and zone control. So Azir is super oppressive when he approaches a tower, but likewise, Ezreal is going to empower that. They have nice reset opportunities in the Emperor's Divide as well as the Cask to reset any fight that they don't like. That said, there's not a ton of hard engage on the side of King. They're effectively really reliant on Huey having his flash so he can get he can threaten the back line, or Zero hitting a nice dark binding.
Yeah, that's something that we see on the King lineup right now, is that they don't have that ability to dive into the back line. And Deft already on Ezreal, pretty self-sufficient. Even Bamey on that Azir should be able to keep people off of him as long as he's playing it properly.
I feel like EDG's composition just has a lot more flexibility and things that it can do. It's got hard engage, it's got disengage, it has poke, it has siege, it has wave clear. King are a little bit more pigeonholed, but here comes gank.
Oh, binding gets dodged. Name's getting forward. Oh, he barely misses the hook.
Nice Valk.
Yeah, good dodge out of Name, makes it out safely. 3 members showing on the bottom side of the map. There goes the farm alarm.
And the reason why they're really applying a ton of pressure to the bottom side of the map is Amazing J has his teleport back up, and they know that Insect doesn't have his. So if they'd made a pick right there, they want to pressure the Dragon with the possible numbers advantage that they can have.
Take a look at some of the vision on the map right now for King. They've got wards all over that top side of the map, and interestingly enough, even on the bottom side as well. Depth Charge finds Name. Here's the teleport, but Spell Shield blocks it out. Is Amazing J gonna dive? He does, but Name burns his flash and gets out alive.
That's fine. They need to immediately translate this back into the Dragon. Insect does have a massive wave onto that top tier tower, so we'll trade it. So EG, I feel like they're all more, ooh, actually, he's gonna go and try to stop him. Okay, so a lot wasted from EDG. They roll the dice on that play again. We talked about how they had a numbers advantage because they had a TP discrepancy for Amazing J. Try to make the Dragon play happen, doesn't connect. Nice response from Hui. Again, he void rushed to the bottom side of the map knowing that Insect didn't have TP, and King ended up with a free objective.
Yeah, seems like they just might as they take that top tier 1, and Amazing J shows himself on the top side of the map to catch the wave. Insect feeling very happy about taking that turret while Deft continues farming it up on the bottom. The hook is dodged again by Name. Mako trying to make something happen, but he just cannot quite find it. Wow, EDG, you know, they're making active forward plays, but King are deftly handling them.
Yeah, it was frankly a misplay by EDG, but I like the fact that you know, identified that they were trying to be proactive. They knew what they wanted, they just couldn't execute it. That said, Deft. Look at the deep vision on King that you just pointed out. They know that they now have the Dragon advantage because Insect's teleport is just about to come up. Likewise, they do have a power spike on Name. He has the Sheen completed versus the tier of Deft's Ezreal.
Seems like that power spike is being very effective, as it's actually King who end up taking that first Dragon with their duo on the bottom side and a teleport discrepancy. They secure for themselves that first Dragon, and they still have a moderate gold lead after taking that top tier 1 turret. And Amazing J tries to answer. He finished his Merc Treads and Home Guard and is now headed towards the Cinder Hulk, but it's going to be a while before he gets there as Insect clears out this wave on the top side of the map. EDG going for some deep invades into King's blue side jungle. I don't know that they're going to be able to get anything besides that Direwolf camp.
They're pressuring for the top tier tower by laying down deep vision there. They're not going to commit to it, especially because they don't have vision on Hui, and Hui is doing a great job responding by rushing up to that top side to make sure that Insect can't be dove. Still relatively dangerous to dive a Vladimir anyway, just because of his pool and how much safety and time that guarantees him. But EDG, they know that they lost the Dragon, so they're trying to play to the top side of the map and find an easy objective, but King did a great job covering their bases. Yeah,
they definitely have, and so far, everything's nice and even, though that 1,000 gold has slowly started to slip into only about a 400, 500 gold lead in favor of King right now, as EDG are trying to press their advantages. It's even CS all across the board. The only difference, again, are those kills, that minor first blood, and that single turret. And again, everyone's just continuing to farm it up. Deft finishes off his Manamune and adds a Sheen to the build. There are some pretty high CS numbers coming out of these folks.
Yeah, I was just going to point out that Deft is on a power spike now that he has the Sheen completed. Nice Essence Flux there to dodge the Dark Binding.
Arcane Shift.
That one. Essence Flux is his W.
Yes, it is.
I try. I can't be a play-by-play caster.
Bamey's going to try securing this blue buff, but he is having the most difficult time I have ever seen with that as it's resetting. Is it going to go again? Oh, not quite.
He's got it.
He finally isn't going to secure that blue buff, while it looks like Horn is headed over to secure his own.
The Drift King
slides over the wall there for some style points. Oh, he's going to miss. Oh. Wait, what? Why did he? What? Oh, the attack didn't complete because the minion died before it did, so it didn't even get the penetration damage. What? That's weird.
Sade is super excited. He's like, he didn't even get the 2 creeps. And this is the micro of how it happened. That was fantastic. Thank you.
That's actually really interesting. I didn't know that happened. If a target dies when Azir attacks with a Sand Soldier, it doesn't complete the penetration damage. I mean, I would assume that's the case. That's what we just saw. Somebody's in the Twitch comments right now going, no, you noob, he missed it because he was off by 2 units to the left.
And there's Deft. Now, I want to point out how Deft threw his ultimate. It was really important that he stood into the brush right there to drop Fog of War. And this is something that I'm actually going to throw all the way back to Reginald. When he used to play Ezreal mid, he would constantly do this. He would back up into Fog of War and then throw his ultimate, because obviously if the enemy team sees you winding up the channel, they're just going to easily dodge to the side. So just a little cute thing.
Oh, Chaos Storm gets dropped on the Bamey. Binding misses once again, as there's a lot of pressure from EDG in that mid lane to try taking that tier 1 back, as Bamey's just trying to flex his Azir power spike muscles with that Morellonomicon. Deft force an Arcane Shift. Mako takes the binding, drops the depth charge, it's spell shielded, then flashes away. Deft continues turning it around, but no kills are rewarded.
And again, we talked about how Ezreal's on a power spike right now because he has the Sheen completed, able to proc that in between his Mystic shot, so really taking advantage there. Name and Zero tried to go offensive knowing that Deft had just used his ultimate, so there was a big part of damage missing from an all-in engagement, but oh, wow.
Yeah, Deft takes a lot of damage. He was really far forward there. Doesn't have flash, doesn't have heal. He goes down. Name gets the kill.
Used his E aggressively. Meanwhile, in the top lane.
Gank on the top side, finds Insect. He has his flash. There goes the very powerful transfusion, but it's not quite enough. He's running as fast as he can. Is he going to make it over the wall? Amazing. Whoa, misses it. Insect continuing to run away. He's kiting it out while Hui manages to kill Mako. Insect is being such a nuisance.
Wow.
Amazing J dodges the binding, but he's so low. He's got to run away from this one. Is he going to get the kill? No! Insect styles on him.
And he just leveled up, but that is a post-level 9 Vladimir. The cooldown on his Q is just oppressive, and he was able to walk Amazing J down long enough to pick that one up. Frankly, a mechanical misplay from Amazing J to miss the Onslaught of Shadows there. There was really only one clear direction that he was going to go.
Yeah. He's not going to run mid towards Bamey. That would be silly. But with that, it's now 4-1 in favor of King. We missed the kill from Name onto Hui in the bottom, as that tier 1 turret also fell. So suddenly, King are feeling very strong.
Especially as they approach this dragon in 1 minute. So we talk about how LPL teams are so... Ooh, baby.
Blinding.
They're so good at identifying when they're strong. It's not just about the fact that this is a region that likes to 5v5. Oh, here we go. We got the replay.
Yeah, here's the kill on the Deft. You can see he's just overextended as Hui punishes him. Flash! Rocket.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. He did a good job flashing the initial rocket, though, but was able to finish him off with a big one. What was I saying? Oh,
I have no idea.
LPL teams, they're really good at identifying when they're strong to fight. Pretty much if they're equal or stronger, they immediately look for 5v5s. Good try, Zero. But if they're not, they're really good at trading the map or sacrificing objectives and looking for the best possible play. So curious how EDG are going to handle this, because right now they're not in the best case scenario to look for a full 5v5 as we see King moving over into the bottom side of the map and placing down vision.
Yeah, it's 10 seconds before that dragon spawns. Amazing J doesn't have his teleport, so he's trying to hurt Insect, but he's just going to be chased forward. Now Flash from Zero comes over the wall. The binding is dodged. They're going to try getting this kill here. There goes the Soul Shackles, Tormented Soil. Whoa, True Shot Barrage finds Zero! Oh, he's barely alive.
Wow, great hit from Deft from across the jungle, I'll say. But wow, what a confident flash. And again, the two Korean members of King, Zero and Insect, meeting up. Here's a replay as
this is Mako's death.
Deft is jumping on Insect.
Boom!
Bounce house.
Yeah, here comes Name. He's just going to land one big one, even burning the heal to get some more chase right there. Rocket! Oh no, Hui gets it.
Denied.
So, Dragon's up. EDG are on that side of the map. They don't have Amazing J, who has no teleport. He has no Onslaught of Shadows. He's running down with the home guard. But King are also prepared for it. Insect does not have his ultimate either, but he's now got a needlessly large rod on top of that Will of the Ancients. This guy is going to do work.
He's very much delayed, though. It's very important that EDG get Bamey into position again. Azir has to be on top of objectives so he can secure them, because it's important for him to get all of his Sand Soldiers up and into place. So we'll see if EDG can creep in here. Nice damage.
Yeah, Deft's going real aggressive there, trying to poke away Name, and Zero succeeds in half healthing Zero, who still has no Soul Shackles. TDG are going to try getting into this minion wave here. Bamey clearing it out as best he can with Deft, while King continue looking for a pick. A single binding is all it's going to take.
And look at Bamey's build. He doesn't have any boots. He sacrificed his mobility for a quick Morello's Abyssal, and that's why EDG are so confident to approach this. I've been saying it all night. There is so much magic damage and mixed damage on pretty much every single one of these LPL team comps. Abyssal is incredibly cost efficient, and the aura empowers all of EDG.
Binding finds Clear Love, but they can't quite commit to it. True Shot Barrage comes across, but it's not enough to clear the wave. It was actually not the True Shot Barrage. But the tier 1 goes down. That's all 3 outer turrets. Amazing J is splitting on the bottom side of the map, is forced to back away now that King have shown themselves. They're still not committing to this dragon.
Giving a ton of respect, trying to play with their pressure points. They did manage to get that mid-tier tower, like you said. A massive wave is building up into the top side, so someone will surely have to attend to that at some point. The teleport is almost up for Amazing J. See if he maybe goes up there and kind of plays with his flank Hecarim teleport.
Deft, once again, shifts aggressively forward to try bullying Zero away. He's just been healing it up. There's the recall coming out of Amazing J. Ping's coming down from Insect while the rest of King get onto the pit. Ooh, binding misses him.
They just left. They just left and they gave away the dragon.
Yes.
They did all of that effort and work to get into the pit, to lay down their vision, to poke people out, and then just let it go.
You are exactly right, and with that, it's King securing the second dragon. So the idea is, when I say the phrase for free, when we say the phrase for free, we usually don't mean it because there's always some sort of trade that happens around the map, especially in the LPL teams.
I just spent like 5 minutes talking about how good they are at kind of sacrificing the map and trading. And
but EDG, they gave that thing away. It might not have been free, but that was like a 98% discount.
That was a buy one, get one free.
Yeah, exactly. That was great for King.
That was a pretty sweet free objective, but okay. King are now, or excuse me, EDG are now responding to the side waves on the map, kind of resetting the pressure, making sure that all their minion waves will eventually align in the middle. You see Def shoving in bottom side. Amazing J, again, responding to the big creep wave that Insect has built into the top wave. We'll see if EDG collapse or if the King are going to get there first.
Yeah, King do manage to get there first. Amazing J dodges the binding, dodges the knockup, but Insect's just being a big bully with that bloody Vladimir.
They pause. Guys, do we give that away for free?
It's like, wait, what do you mean you weren't at the dragon? I thought you were there. No, I told you to go. I was going top to clear the wave. But it was our wave. I can hear the comms right now.
I mean, it was a good move from Amazing J. Again, we talked about how his teleport was just about to come up, so he had the ability to go up to the top side and then look for a Hecarim Flake, as well as kind of deal with the building minion wave that Insect had made. It's not too detrimental at this point because, again, the game is still fairly early, but EDG giving away kind of a lot of their footing now. Their composition isn't built for early game. That's really important to recognize. Their big power spike is going to come when Deft has a few more items, again, stacking up that tier. And likewise, Azir is going to hyperscale into the late game. So it's not like, you know, by giving away these dragons, by kind of making some slight misplays around objectives, that they're not going to be able to have the tools to get back into it. It's just giving King a lead, and King tend to do very well with their leads. That said, they're in last place, but I assure you, they do well with their leads.
They definitely do. The thing is, though, they're up against Edward Gaming, the team that beat SKT in the MSI this last MSI. And it sort of begs the question, you know, Edward Gaming is the team that will punish you for making mistakes. They'll wait the game out 40 minutes, wait until you start the Baron, then they'll slaughter you, steal the Baron, and end the game before you can respond.
But that's because they're really good with their 5v5. But if you think, again, we're on a rotating roster. We have Bamey filling in for Pawn and Amazing J filling in for Koro. So EDG's 5v5 has taken a direct hit in terms of its cohesiveness and synergy as a unit. And again, if you go back to King's record, we say this all the time, it's really hard to accurately... Hold on.
Amazing J teleporting in from the back.
Beautiful black shield.
But the black shield keeps him up. There goes the knockup. 2 ultimates are blown. Zero still flashes. The hook finds him just barely. And they give the kill over to Deft.
So much was burned to kill Zero. Unfortunately, King really have no answers. Name is trying to apply pressure into this bottom tower. We'll see if he actually gets it. I'm pretty sure he's only going to get some damage done.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Recall was just completed for Amazing J. He's rushing over with that home guard. There are another 2 members of King on their way over in Hui and Korn. That's a really big minion wave, however, and Name takes a tier 2 for 1 kill.
EDG commits so many resources top lane. King had the wave pushing, so they take, like you said, the very free tower. And that, again, hashtag worth for King.
With that...
Oh, King.
King.
They are, of course, bottom tier of the standings, but the thing is that, again, for the first part of the split, they didn't have their complete roster. You can directly see, if you look at King's standings, they immediately start splitting 1-1 when they face Xiaogu, and it's no coincidence that that is the game, the set, where Insec and Zero come back to the roster. Since then, they've only lost 1 game. Everything else has been a split or a 2-0 victory, and that was to Invictus Gaming. So King's record, when they have their Koreans, when they have their full roster, places them kind of more middle of the pack as opposed to their true standings on the bottom.
We'll have to see if they can make it up to that point. I mean, they're playing Edward Gaming right now, and if they can take a win off of Edward Gaming, or even 2, then that would make one heck of an argument.
Xiaogu's looking over like, please, King.
Come on, do it. You can do it. Is that Ice Fist Ezreal? Frost Punch.
Blue Ezreal.
He's going to punch your Frost.
So the build is to build a lot of blue items, and it emphasizes kiting. We haven't seen this in quite a while. We've seen a lot of Ezreal kind of peeking back into the LPL, and again, once we shift over into Runeglaive, I'm pretty sure Ezreal is going to be a very popular pick.
So strong.
That said, this is all about CDR, throwing out your Mystic shots, and kiting backwards. And again, we talked about how EDG's composition has really nice reset tools with the Cask as well as the Emperor's Divide. But more importantly, it is really well oriented to kind of elongated, sustained fights. Because with Azir, he's not a burst mage. He can throw out massive damage with the Emperor's Divide. But if you're using it as a reset tool, it's more about getting multiple rotations through Azir's auto attacks on his Sand Soldiers. So the Iceborne Gauntlet and the theory of, you know, kiting backwards and drawing out these fights as opposed to just bursting down works really well with what EDG have on the board.
That sort of begs the question, though, that when you compare it to King's lineup, they've got the Hemo Plague. They've got Chaos Storm on top of that. They want to Soul Shackles.
Yeah, they want to murder you all in one rotation of their R buttons.
And it seems like they've got the composition to do it, because if Insect gets into range, if Korn gets into range, you're going to die.
Yep.
That's pretty much the outcome.
It's Insect presses his Hemo Plague first, immediately on top of a Chaos Storm, and then Name throws down some mixed damage on top of all of that.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how that ends up working out, if King are able to get the Wombo combo with this.
It's kind of weird to call it a Wombo combo, but I see what
it kind of is, yeah. But you expect that the Wombo is like the whole 1, 2, 3.
The instantaneous
This is more of
death.
like a 1 and 2 and 3. There's a music joke.
Halftime.
Hey. It's better than Jazz Beat. All right, that's off topic.
We're learning slowly.
Dragons up in a minute. And King currently are 2-0 in Dragons. They've got control over 4 turrets, taking that tier 2, and on the bottom side of the map as well. So we can see Insect get real aggressive here, especially with all the deep wards that he's got to watch for any sort of flanks. But EDG, 4 members in the mid lane, could look for a collapse onto him. No,
and you're absolutely right. The reason why Insect's allowed to be that far forward and is that confident is because King have set up fantastic flanking vision for him. EDG are slowly making their way over there, but there's just so many pressure points on the map. Eventually, they'll have to deal. Never mind. They got a slow push going back for them top side. But Dragon's the next big thing on contention for 10 seconds.
To be the big one, as King are currently prepared and set up with vision all over that pit. Ping's find Deft at his own red buff right now, so they're going to try burning through before Deft can make it there. They're doing a lot of damage here. Korn waiting over the wings. True Shot Barrage comes across. There's the binding, thrown a little bit early from Zero. He dives. Oh, he got it! And Amazing J steals it. They find Insect on the backside. Hemo Plague finds one target, and this is Korn's positioning that's going to end up punishing him here as Insect staggers it out with Name. Clear Love kills Korn, and King are suddenly in a really tough spot as they've got EDG on both sides of them. Insect's trying to heal off of the Grump while Hui staggers it out. Zero tosses out the binding. They're going to have to go through the enemy jungle to escape from this one. Zero, what are you doing? You're on the wrong side of the map here. He's going to be collapsed upon by Clear Love. He's still alive, however. Name and Insect do so much damage, and EDG can't pull the trigger on the collapse.
Saving Private Zero. They get out of that. They were caught in between EDG and their own base, but huddled together like a rock. I want to point out, Hue did a fantastic job saving Zero's life, making sure that he was on top of him, that when Gragas and Azir collapsed, he came out, unburrowed, and knocked both of them up. The CC duration lasted long enough. Def's looking for Morgana. He's not going to find her.
Oh, no, he did.
Oh.
Just back in the fountain.
He was also looking for the red buff. that was crazy.
Yeah.
Great job from Amazing J. And this is the other thing that I wanted to point out. So when EDG have been unseated so far in this split, it's actually the target focus on Clearlove, either through counter-picking him or stalling out his objective control. And when EDG fall behind, and it sounds fairly obvious. Okay, obviously when a team loses, you know, they would lose objective control. But it's just so devastating to EDG to watch them get unseated by the last place team in King because they just can't commit to these fights. It really shows how uncomfortable they are playing with Amazing J and Baby.
To be fully fair to EDG, however, they did take that first dragon. Here's a breakdown
Yeah,
of the
but
fight.
Clearlove didn't get it. Amazing J got it. So there's the steal right here. You're absolutely right. Korn's positioning was a little bit questionable. He wasn't able to follow up on the Hemoplague, which means that Clearlove and Deft are just going to turn and immediately delete him from the map, although good attempted damage. But just imagine, he would have killed Deft there if he was on the same side as Vladimir, if they were using their composition correctly, if the Hemoplague goes down and then the Chaos Storm to empower the damage.
Yeah, you just saw Deft sprint over the wall right there as the Arcane Shift animation did fully load. Wild King clear out some wards around the Baron. We're 30 minutes into the game, and King, they've got a pretty solid advantage right now. We've seen EDG in this position before, while Bamey has to dash away from Name, who even uses the Blade of the Ruined King active.
That's why he likes Corki. It's because it's actually a build path to take Bork.
Yeah, makes sense now.
He plays a sizable amount of Corki, but he's never. I would never consider Name a Corki player. His Valkyrie use is a little bit
They
questionable.
are starting the Baron right now. They see Amazing J on the other side of the map. He is recalling right now, shredding through all of that health. Mako coming in. Is Amazing J going to be able to make it in time? He's got to teleport right now, but no, King, back off.
Important to note that we were calling for Amazing J to make the Smite steal, and it's not just because we don't have faith in Clearlove, but more important, Amazing J is level 15 compared to A's level 13, so he has the stronger Smite, which led to him getting that Dragon, and King not pulling the trigger on that Baron.
It's kind of hard when it's Edward Gaming, and they're all right there. I mean, Amazing J, despite being relatively shut down by Insect in lane, he hasn't been able to get any kills. And you can see he's been forced to build fully defensive right now. Cinder Hulk going now for the Frozen Heart after completing the Spirit Visage. He's not quite as effective diving into the backline, so I expect we'll see a Trinity Force from him soon when he decides to finish off that Frozen Heart. Interestingly enough, EDG swing up to the top side of the map. They could be looking for that top tier 1.
It's the easiest objective for them to secure. Likewise, if they get a pick in this area, especially if it's on the jungler, they can easily translate into a Baron. Because again, with running Vladimir top, he can't run Smite. I mean, he could, but he's not running Smite. You have the double Smite composition, so their Baron control is still far superior, despite the fact that they are behind.
Looks like King are going to respond by sending a few members into the mid lane. They've got a lot of wards on EDG's red side of the jungle, so they can see the swing back towards the mid, but Bamey makes it back in time to catch the wave, as that tier 2 is still standing. Now it's 4-3 in turrets. EDG finally able to close the gap just a little bit, and more importantly, they're only down by about 2,000 gold right now.
It's really going to come down to these big 5v5 fights. So Amazing J did a fantastic job getting EDG's foot back into this one by securing that last dragon. He'll have another crack at it in about 1 minute. They've got their itemization stacked up again. You have the fully stacked tier out of Def's Ezreal. So if EDG are going to strike, now is the time. They found their power spikes.
True Shot Barrage comes across, is going to spot out Baron once again.
Did a ton of damage to Name, who was clearing out a ward. So obviously by ulting the Baron, it immediately procs and targets the closest thing to it, which happened to be Name. So not only did he eat the damage of the True Shot Barrage, but a nice big chunk of Baron autos.
So let's actually talk about Name and Deft right now. We both mentioned that they were, well, one of them was the AD carry of EDG. One of them now is the AD carry of EDG. How's that grudge match working out?
And again, because Name didn't play in the first game that EDG and King faced, this is kind of the first time that we've really seen it. And the thing about Deft replacing Name and EDG was kind of What's the best way to say it? I mean, it's a clear upgrade because Deft is playing better than Name this split, but in terms of play style, they're very interchangeable in everything that they offer. They're both position-based AD carries. Deft now has a great lane phase. Name has a fairly strong lane phase with Zero. They have very similar champion pools. I think Deft's is slightly better suited to the current meta, whereas Name was very strong in the last meta. And that's really been another big factor for Deft to really take off and kind of take his standing and his seating above Name in kind of terms of AD carry ranking. But they really haven't had too much time to themselves. We did see a little bit of a 2v2, top side, bottom side, but it's really been about objective control, choking EDG out, as opposed to, either one really getting outplayed in lane.
Speaking of objectives, Dragon has just spawned. EDG with the quick shove mid, drop the Legacy of Shurima, and then pull that Dragon out of the pit. Yeah, Insect has joined the battle. Binding comes over the wall. Zero's not able to find it, and suddenly King are on the opposite side of the pit. Hui looking for the steal right here. Amazing J just waiting for the go button, but Damie's the one who gets it. Amazing J actually teleported in from behind and doesn't pull the finger on the flank.
There we go. That was beautifully played from EDG, playing with two different pincher points. Amazing J teleporting from behind, obviously threatening there, but Clearlove actually kind of fumbled the smite a little bit. Bamey actually ended up securing the Dragon, but EDG even the score up, and we are now shored up to a 2K gold deficit between these teams.
Yeah, the binding comes across from Zero, doesn't find anyone. Knockup finds Bamey. He uses the Emperor's Divide and flashes over the wall. There's no Wombo just yet. The Chaos Storm is still there. He finds Clearlove and Mako, but those are the tanks in the front line. They're staggering it out exceptionally well. Deft kiting from the side, and Name's still alive, so too is Deft. You can see them trading auto attacks back and forth. They don't have vision over the wall right there. He dashes forward right into melee range. Deft goes low, and Deft goes down. Name brings him down.
There's your grudge match right there. Unfortunately, Deft was trying to kite backwards, thought he was going to get a little bit cute, misused his E, and Name immediately saw the opening to Valkyrie on top of him and take the kill right there. But fantastic job and spread of the AoE damage. The fact that Bamey had to use his Emperor's Divide so early to reposition for only himself as opposed to buying time. We said the longer these team fights drag out, the higher percentage chance have EDG of winning. But hold on.
Amazing J could be looking for a steal. Dragon Baron's at 2,500 health. They turn on the Mako. He's forced to take the line away. Insect in the front line. He can take some damage, but not too much right now. And Baron is going to reset. Bamey. Oh, he's clearing the ward. Okay, I thought he was poking Baron in the belly.
He's like, I gotta keep it leashed.
I can do it, I can do it. But he does not, in fact, do it. Instead, clears away the ward, and King trade 1 for 2.
Great job from Amazing J and Clearlove to get back into position and to stop the Baron that King would have had.
Just like that, things even right back up. It's still about a 2,500 gold lead in favor of King, but oh, the steal from Deft. What?
Is that Wei Xiao?
Shutting down the Raptor.
The deny.
Yeah, Hui didn't even get to smite it.
He's going to throw that. I mean, obviously with the blue Ezreal, the other big thing is you're going to be itemizing CDR. It's Lucidity boots as well. So anytime that ultimate's up, you're just going to go ahead and throw it. Very short cooldown.
Yeah, so he is tossing that back out. Left and right vision, again, is the name of the game for this Baron, as Insect finds Deft. He brings him low. Cleanse used with the Quicksilver Staff, but Insect is now 1v3 here. He's really far forward. Zanyas goes down. No one's going to be able to make it in time. There's the Depth Charge. He's still taking a lot of damage, but
wow.
My gosh, Korn dashes in, finds Deft, gets knocked too far forward, and is destroyed by Bamey. Insect somehow still alive as he continues kiting it out. He's buying time for King at the Baron. King Edward Gaming do not have vision of this. He's staggering out 1v5. Amazing J smells it coming. The Baron is secured. They kill Insect, but EDG just fumbled the game.
So, I was going to say, during all of that time, Insect, fancy footwork, blue suede shoes, Korn flashing forward, Deft makes the outplay, but who ends up with Baron? King.
Oh my goodness, they just didn't have one ward in the pit. Deft goes down to Name in a huge 1v1 in the top lane, but this is huge for King. They've got the Baron buff now.
Name getting the 1v1 on Deft.
Yeah. Not once, but now twice.
I'm not going to give him the first one because he got 3 people standing behind him.
Hell yeah.
Okay, King, full control of this game. And I ask you, does this look like the last place LPL team? EDG are slumping, but I will repeat this point until the end of time. King, they haven't had their full roster. Since they've got it, they've split with some of the top tier teams. The only teams they've lost to when they had their starting Koreans, Insect and Zero, was Invictus Gaming. and they look to take this game away from EDG. That said, again, EDG, they have so many tools in the late game. Where do they like to fight? In the late game. But with a rotating roster, with the experimentation in the middle of the split, Bamey and Amazing J, they just look slightly uncomfortable, slightly out of position.
Can see King are now trying to set up a siege for that middle tier 2 turret. They just are not able to find it, however, as Insect's on the bottom side of the map. And despite this rotating roster from EDG, they're still very close in this game. They're playing exceptionally well, contesting objectives, contesting vision. Whoa, Hui doesn't get the smite steal. Instead, eats a face full of CC. And he's going to have to walk away from this one. It's Amazing J who ended up securing that red buff, though. He's going to chase them away, dashes forward with the onslaught of shadows.
Corn.
Oh my gosh, he just got led like a horse, and he's actually going to make it out of this one while EDG managed to pick up the kill onto Zero, but you could say that was a zero-sum game.
You were looking for so many puns right there. You're like a horse to water, and then you went for the math joke.
Oh, Korn ends up going down, being picked off by Def. Looks like he was the faster one with this play. As King continued to back away, this Baron buff isn't working out too well. Here comes Amazing J. He's got the home guard, turns onto Insect. Remember what happened at level 1? Well, Amazing J wants revenge for that. He's got Deft chasing him down too. Insect might be tanky, might have a lot of sustain, but he might also go down. Dropping the Zonias to stagger it out, but this time there's no Baron buff for the rest of King to take.
We just talked about how King got the Baron. They were in the driver's seat, ready to apply pressure to EDG. Immediately fumble it. Face check into 4 members of EDG. They make a fantastic collapse and pick up 3 free kills. I think there's only, what, 2 Barons left after all is said and done? Name's got one.
Name's got one. Zero died. We still got his.
Corn died,
yep.
And Insect died.
Yeah, so EDG are shoving down now. They're going to be the ones taking the tier 2. Despite the Baron buff on Name, and all in all, it's going to end up falling off right about now. And just like that, EDG are once again, or for the first time, in the lead.
We talked about how they looked a little bit uncomfortable comparatively to their starting MSI roster in a true 5v5. That said, if King are going to face check into you...
Yeah, that's kind of a problem. Here comes the Dragon now being secured. It's double smite, picks it up easy peasy for EDG.
Back in control.
Yep, once again, they've now got that third Dragon. Baron buff has fallen off, and King suddenly find themselves on the back foot. In fact, they are just a little bit ahead in gold, but EDG are right there behind him.
It's good. It's been completely shored up. They had the advantage in kind of a 2-minute scramble, completely throw their lead.
Oh, Cask finds Name, but he's got a spell shield on him. Great reflexes from Zero, and he doesn't even take any damage. The True Shot Barrage only hits Zero as well. But Banshee's Veil is going to be able to soak that damage right on up. Big minion wave on the top side of the map means that somebody's going to eventually have to deal with it. Gosh, Insect is such a pest.
You know who's got extreme damage, though, and who's going to be a massive pest in team fights is this Azir. Bamey now has multiple completed items across the board, including 2 needlessly large rods. One is in the form of his Death Cap, a Void Staff, Abyssal, and Morello. So Azir is a massive threat right now. And we talked about how King's composition really works, how you have to layer their ultimates, especially with the transfusion from Insect. And that's what needs to happen. They can no longer have a situation where Korn is standing on the wrong side of a team fight.
Saw what happened once someone gets caught from King. EDG will steamroll over you to try to punish you for it. But King don't seem to be playing that game, as it's Korn on the top side of the map. He's got a really big wave building up, and seems like we're going to see somebody catch that in just a moment as he's buying time. But the question is, what is he buying time for? King, now even with EDG, no longer have control of the game as they once did, but ooh, good hit.
Did that blind. He saw them. He saw him rotate out of vision from the minion wave and hit him through his transition.
So what do King do in order to win this? Because EDG, they continue to look for picks, catch someone out of position, and then just let Bamey shred through the health of King.
I mean, King are doing the exact same thing. There's no reason to fight because there's no objective at play at this moment. Baron will be up in 1 minute 30 seconds. None of the buffs are available. They're not looking to siege here just because they don't have the deep vision or the flank vision appropriate to really march further down this map. So what they need to do is they need to collectively group up if they want to look for deep vision, which should be around this Baron pit, place it together, and then possibly find a pick. But EDG are really playing the exact same game. This comes down to execution of compositions, and the 2 big ultimates that need to happen for King, the Transfusion and the Chaos Storm across the right targets. On the other side, it's the Azir show. Baimi is massive. He's given so many tools to stall out a fight. The longer it goes, the higher the chance of winning EDG have.
You see King rushing forward with that vision to try getting control. EDG dash in to respond to it. Make sure that Tier 2 still stays standing. We're 43 minutes into the game, and King, despite having some pretty solid momentum during the mid-game, just haven't been able to translate it as EDG punished them after that Baron fight when they managed to pick off Korn. And it really seems like that's what it was, because Baimi, when he was caught, that's when King started to snowball their momentum, while Hui finds Amazing J on the side. He's just going to end up clearing a ward and zoning them away.
He's seen a lot of poke damage from Daft.
Yes, indeed. They get some more damage onto Amazing J. He's now completed his Trinity Force on top of those resistance items.
Likewise, Daft has completed his BT.
Yep. A lot of really big items built out. As you mentioned, Baimi currently sitting on 6 items, whereas Korn is only sitting on 5. Hui does get the farm alarm to get to the other side of the Baron. Might be trying to catch somebody here. Insect leads the charge. Oh, Ghost gets blown by Korn as they might be looking for a fight, but this is a tight choke, and Azir, he's probably pretty happy with that.
Likewise, so is Victor. Big issue, the fact that a summoner was burned to try to get Victor in position right there. We'll see if that comes back to punish him again. Both these teams, the Baron is up. We talked about how they weren't looking to fight because there was no objective to fight over. They have it now live on the map.
Yeah, both of the teams skirmishing around. Amazing J catches the wave on the opposite side. Baimi dashes forward to try catching King out of position as the wave is reset on the top side. There goes the True Shot Barrage down the middle of the lane as well. And suddenly, EDG have found themselves in a pretty comfortable spot in that mid lane.
There was almost a massive mistake from King sending Name top lane. Of course, you want your AD carry to get that big, massive wave of gold, but he didn't have the teleport, which is why you saw EDG suddenly so aggressive, marching down that mid lane, knowing that Amazing J is split pushing teleport, but Name didn't have it, which King, they've righted themselves now, corrected the wrong, and they've sent Insect to match Amazing J.
Almost an opportunity for EDG to snowball something scary.
But they immediately recognized it.
They recognized the issue with that. Now Dragon's up in a minute. Baron's already up. Hui has to be careful there. Almost walking in 1v4. He's not going to fall for it this time.
Look
Well,
at
Zero. Gosh, he's like, I need a ward.
Just like...
I need an adult. And he manages to make it out of there just fine. Amazing J continues splitting on the bottom. Both of those laners do have teleport. Binding is going to miss Clear Love. And the wave is cleared right back out in the middle of the lane. Insect trying to trade with Amazing J now. He does so much despite the Spirit Visit.
If Insect can beat Amazing J in the 1v1 here, that would be huge. Oh, here we go. This is what I'm talking about the other day. The Baron Gate ward. So that pink ward doesn't have vision, obviously, because they're not clearing it.
Yep.
But meanwhile, this Baron Gate ward, obviously, it doesn't show you the Baron's health itself, but it can tell you if the enemy team is doing Baron because you can see them go in and out and kind of catch a glimmer of their attack animations.
Yeah. We'll definitely see if that definitely comes into play. Now, Dragon has just spawned. 46 minutes in. Was that a 1060 crit on Quirky? Wow, that's a lot. Insect is going to try starting the Dragon here.
You don't consider Quirky and Ezreal late game damage 80 carries, but they're one of the few, I think they're the only 2 80 carries that do...
Wait, Amazing J started the Dragon. Here comes the teleport from Insect. Looks like King wanna force this. It's completed as he has joined the battle. Amazing J teleporting in as well. He is level 18, so that's the full 1,000 damage smite. But it's 2 smites versus 1. The flash Emo Plague is huge. He finds 4. Can they stack the AoE on top of it? Korn can't get in there as Insect died before it. Korn gets knocked out of the fight. He finally turns it around. The Hemo Plague has already been blown, however, as Clear Love jumps out of the side. Deft chases Korn down, and suddenly King find themselves in a terrible position. Great binding lands, but Zero, oh man, barely makes it out.
And EDG immediately turn on Baron, knowing that they have that one team fight as well as the 2 smites. That was a massive fumble from King. Insect, what are you doing, mate?
He got the Hemo Plague on 4 members, but
Korn, he couldn't follow up at all.
Yeah, he's still got the Chaos Storm. Drops the laser over the wall, doesn't get the steal. Amazing J secures it. Baron buff now in EDG's hands.
Wow, okay, so I'm sure we'll get a replay of that fight. The biggest issue, though, is that it was just way too far spread apart. We talked about those ultimates, they have to stack together. If the Hemoplague goes off, but there's 0 follow-up, you're not going to have any damage. EDG did a fantastic job zoning off that backline, and now turn onto the Dragon.
Yeah, the Dragon, this is number 4 for Edward Gaming. As you've got Morgana on the side. Oh, here's the fight.
There's the Flash Hemoplague, but look at Korn, a beautiful cast from Clearlove. He knocks him completely out of position. He burns the Ghost just to get in range, but the Chaos Storm is just now dropped.
Yeah, just not able to stack the AoE too effectively. Name also getting picked off. Didn't work out that well. And with that, the Dragon number 4 is secured for Edward Gaming. No steal coming out of 0. And suddenly, Edward Gaming have got a lot of momentum.
Insect just so itchy on that trigger.
Yep.
Classic Insect. I love it when players stay true to reputation, like Imp rocket jumping forward and then dying, like he did last game, except he was on Ezreal. Like Essence or Arcane shifted forward and then immediately died under tower.
Yep.
Insect flashing into the backline is Vladimir.
You never really think that you could see something like that happen so consistently, but they find a way.
I love it.
So with that Baron buff, Edward Gaming now have got control over the map. They've got a wave building on the top side. Someone's going to take care of the bottom. That's Amazing Jay as he heads on down, while Name tries to buy time for that middle wave as it slowly rolls across the map.
With this Baron, it pretty much guarantees, I mean, we've been in the late game for a while, but it guarantees a freeze for the next 4 minutes where King can't do anything. They just have to be responsive to everything that EDG are dictating on the map. And frankly, that's never where you want to be against EDG. They are so punishing with their Baron buff, even with their rotating roster of Bamey and Amazing Jay as Insects finding out firsthand.
Yeah, taking some damage from Amazing Jay there. The True Shot Barrage comes across, but the turret's overshield is still protecting it. And EDG finally are going to crack down that bottom lane tier 2 turret. There's another wave building on the top side of the map.
King, they effectively have one more crack at this. Bamey's build on Azir is fully up and online. That guy's going to be doing ridiculous damage while he maintains a very nice, safe distance. And we've been repeating, what does King composition do? And frankly, they haven't been able to do that for the last 3 team fights. And that's why they find themselves in this position now. So they effectively have one more chance. Another mistake will cost them the game.
We'll see if they can manage to pull it off as EDG take that big wave, snowball it down the top lane, and that's the 3rd tier 2 going down. 6 turrets now to 5 in favor of Edward Gaming. They've already taken 2. Baron buff looks like it's about to fall off. Yep, finally falls off. So now King once again on even footing with Edward Gaming.
Entirely on the back foot as far as the gold discrepancy is concerned, however. EDG, we talked about how even after King took the initial Baron in a quick and decisive team fight, they were able to shore that up, and now with the 2nd Baron, they've created quite a sizable gap and some nice room to breathe.
When you take a look at some of these differences, it's full build on the mid lane, full build on both of the AD carries, even in the top lane, full build on that Hecarim and Vladimir.
This game comes down to execution of their team composition, and fairly, we said it earlier, you know, EDG, their composition has more versatility and flexibility when it comes to not just the 5v5s, but what you can do in terms of sieging and movement around the map, especially even as something as simple as the double smite, your objective control, and that's where King are getting punished in the late game that their comp just, I mean, frankly got outdrafted.
Seems like as Insect once again zones away Amazing Jay. He's been a pest all game, and he's continuing to live up to that pressure. King actually finds some pressure in the mid lane, but Deft is clearing it out just fine. Binding goes wide as even that Morgana is starting to get tanky. Hui helping him out just a bit. Deft dashes forward, but not able to find it. Here comes a flank from Clearlove, but he doesn't quite commit to it just yet.
And we're ticking ever so closer to the 5th Dragon win condition for EDG. They are now sitting on 4, which means King will have to fight.
The scary thing is, I think that Dragon is timed with the Baron. So let's see, Dragon's up just now. We've got 2 minutes, but that Baron was like right beforehand.
Well, Baron also has a...
It's a 7-minute timer.
Yeah, and Dragon's a 6-minute.
Exactly. I thought there was a... They took the Baron, then they waited a minute, then took the Dragon.
Well, we will see in the next 43
seconds. That's significantly less exciting now that it's not actually staggered. However, that's still a very big pressure point for King, as they are down. And again, things are going rather slow. The wave control has been pretty good for King so far.
It comes down to this last fight.
Yeah.
Can Korn be on the same side
There it is.
as Insec? Can they homogenize their ultimates?
I was 30 seconds off.
You're fired.
I don't think you have that sort of executive power. I'm going to go out on a limb right here.
You got the Baron timer wrong.
Yeah, so Baron and Dragon are going to be up within 30 seconds of each other. A wave now shoving on the top side. Those are going to be relatively even while Bamey continues to put pressure in the mid lane. King have got to make up their mind. What is scarier, EDG with 5 dragons or EDG with Baron?
EDG with 5 dragons.
Even worse, EDG with both. Whoa, he gets caught here. He goes for a deep board and is punished. He's so tanky. The cask knocks him in. Two-shot barrage finds him, but he's so strong in the front line. Takes some more damage from Deft. Meanwhile, they look for Insec and Zero on the side, but
they need to disengage. Huey needs to go back heal and use his Void Rush to get back in position. He only has a tunnel onto the Wolf camp. That said, EDG know that Huey has to go heal, which is why they're immediately ramming it up mid lane. And then they're going to rotate back down towards the Dragon. 19 seconds.
Yeah, they're rushing forward. They're going to clear the tunnel away. Oh, no. We just lost his tunnel.
There he goes.
Oh, yeah. He made it over to the Dragon Pit right now. It's 10 seconds before that Dragon spawns, but they just might trade an inhibitor for it.
They hear the Void Scream. They knew that he rushed back into the Dragon Pit, and they decide to commit on the inhibitor. So King fumble their positioning. EDG, a fantastic juggling of choices there
Flash
for King.
knockup finds 3. Zero coming in from the side. Soul Shackles finds 2. Korn is knocked out of the fight. So much CC locks him down. He's destroyed before getting any damage across. Name's kiting it out from the backside. Insec with a huge emo play ends up going down to the AoE. That's 3 members dead. Name once again out-duels Deft, even with the rest of his team supporting him. But he finally ends up going down. Zero, the sole survivor, is going to watch as his base is knocked to pieces by Edward Gaming. They're going to take game number 1 against King in a 54-minute methodical fest.
And King really, they defeated themselves. EDG had fantastic positioning late game, but King fumbling that initial Baron by face-checking into EDG, giving them even the slightest chance to get their footing back, and EDG kicked the door down.
Yeah, they definitely did. I mean, such an excellent play. The moment they heard that Void Rush, running straight down mid.
Brilliant. I mean, such a tough decision. You know that Rek'Sai had to go back and heal. You decide to create the pressure point into the mid lane as soon, like you said, as soon as that Void Rush came down, they knew that he had rushed back to the Dragon Pit, so there was a numbers discrepancy holding down that mid-tier tower, immediately connected on taking the inhibitor.
And then it wasn't even that. King, on top of it, couldn't commit. If they had rushed down the Dragon, then they would have been fine. Recall, defend the Nexus. If they had ran over to the Baron, they would have been fine. Recall, defend the Nexus. But Edward Gaming just played King.
Yeah, and effectively it came down to inability to execute the composition. We said at the very beginning, you know, EDG, they have so many more tools, they have so many different ways that they can play around the map in terms of sieging, wave clear, 5v5s, things like that, their itemization, their resets, everything going for them. They outdrafted King. King, they just had 1 win condition.
Yeah.
Transfusion, Chaos Storm.
Yeah, well,
never happened.
Unfortunately, their team fights were in a bit of disarray, but we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. Will King be able to take a win off Edward Gaming? Find out after this short break.